Ah, is this me? I can't tell.
Howdy. Excuse me. What the hell's up? I'm here with an album review that you clicked on. Nightwish, Endless Forms, Most Beautiful. This is their new fucking album, man. Nightwish has some new music out. It came out, what's today? March 31st. March 31st. Nuclear Blast Records. This is the first album with, Floor Jansen on vocals, who she's from After Forever and Revamp. So first album there, and so and this is the follow up to Imaginarium from 2012 with Annette on vocals there. Nightwish is a band that's really been growing on me recently. I've started to really dig back into their back catalog, and you know, they're an incredible band. They really are. I think if you're into symphonic power metal, that they're one of the top bands that you can go for, in my opinion. Not just because of female vocals, just because musically they are top notch. Just excellent songwriting throughout by, and I hope I say his name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to call him Thomas. This band's from Finland. I don't know how to pronounce any of their fucking names because I'm not European, man. So I apologize if I said that wrong. He's like the main dude. He's their keyboard player. He writes most of their music, and you know, so a lot of Nightwish's success can be accredited to him. And I have to say that this album's not bad, but it's not great in my opinion. I do think there are some really good songs on here. Let me scroll down just a little bit. The first song, Shudder Before the Beautiful, isn't bad. And the next song, Weak Fantasy, isn't bad. And the next song, Elan, isn't bad. You see where I'm going? These songs aren't bad, but they're not absolutely mind-blowing, in my opinion. They're not like anything off of like Once or Dark Passion Play or Oceanborn, in my eyes. You know, it's just kind of average, and at times I feel just the songwriting in general, mostly in the mid-section of the album, feels slightly just uninspired. Doesn't hold my interest as much as past Nightwish albums have, and I don't really know why. I just think it's the songwriting. They seem to mesh a little bit, and I think it's also Floor's vocals. Don't get me wrong, she's a talented vocalist. She has an incredible voice, but there's something about Annette and Tarja that just had this flair to them, that just had this spice that just made it that much better. You know, I look at one of my favorite Nightwish songs is The Siren, off of Once. I love that song's chorus, how it's just slow, it's creepy, and Tarja's vocals are just adding this awesome flair in the background, very atmospheric, and then Marco Polo, the bassist, is doing some really awesome, clean vocals there. It's just that type of stuff I just feel isn't as strong on this album. And don't get me wrong, I think at times this album is catchy as shit. Like Elan is extremely catchy. Edda Maroon is a song that's been stuck in my head since this album came out and I first listened to it. There's some catchy material here. I just feel that it's not as strong, and like I said, it just feels slightly uninspired to me. But you know, the orchestration that's going on, just putting the song together note by note is really good on here. And you know, the guitars are pretty solid. They're not mind-blowing by any means, but I never thought that Nightwish had mind-blowing guitars or just some of the catchiest riffs of all time, or you know, that type of stuff. It's solid and it fits the music, and that's one thing about Nightwish is that they put their songs together, you know, very carefully, and it doesn't really matter. Not one part's really going to stand out above the other, although, excuse me, usually the vocals really do because they are the catchiest part and just the best part about Nightwish, in my opinion. But there is some very kind of aggressive moments on here that Nightwish has. It's had in the past, and that I really enjoyed here. The track "Yours Is an Empty Hope" was a really good song, and that song starts off and it's like boom, straight in the gut. I really liked it. I just like how, and that's one thing. I feel that this album is slightly toned down in terms of just, you know, orchestration and just that epicness that Nightwish has had. I just feel it's toned down a little bit. Now, this is their first album with Floor. I expect them to get much better. I think this might have just been, I don't want to call it a dud because it's not a bad album. It's just not as great, in my opinion, as Nightwish's other stuff. Like, here's The Bar and here's this album. It just barely missed it, in my opinion. The last track, The Greatest Story Ever Told, Greatest Show on Earth, sorry, is 24 minutes long. And if any of you watched, I think it's my most recent CD collection video, I recently picked up 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence from Dream Theater. And I said how I cannot, it's so fucking dumb that whole album is, or that there's a 42-minute song on there. It's kind of like, what the hell? I like long songs, but when they get this long, it's kind of like, just break it up. I know technically when you look at the CD it is broken up, but I'm saying literally break it up. It doesn't have to be one long song, because, you know, I found that song to not be too bad as a whole, kind of like the other ones. It wasn't bad. And there were certain moments that I'm like, awesome, this is pretty cool. And there are certain moments that I'm like, this is kind of boring. I just want to be able to flash forward to those balls, man. Maybe you can on CD. I have not been able to pick up the CD. I'm just saying, it'd be nice for it to be broken up. That's just a pet peeve of mine, of course, and that's kind of almost nothing really against the album that I'm going to knock it for. But it's just a pet peeve of mine. Anyways, I think Floor's vocals are good. They just need a little bit more flair to them to make it better. Like past Nightwish. I mean, she has huge shoes to fill in my eyes, and I feel that she's completely capable. So they're good, they're catchy, they're not incredible. The songwriting is good, it's catchy, it's not incredible. The guitars are good, they're catchy, they're not incredible. That's just how I feel about this album. It's just, it's good. 8 out of 10. That's good. Nuclear Blast Records, Nightwish, Endless Forms, Most Beautiful. That's a really catchy song, too. Check it out. Thanks for watching. And look out for some shit coming on.